Hi, everyone.
Hey, anybody?
Hello, everyone. How are y'all today?
How is everyone?
You guys are well. Look at you guys all coming in.
Yeah.
Wow,
Wonderful
that was
World Raid.
fast for a raid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For all you jumping into raid,
Yes.
thank you. Here you go. Wow.
I love Mama Gwen. She says, hello, all you beautiful humans. I got to tell you, when the music was playing, right there at the first, Lacey's over here laying down on the couch and her head is up underneath her blanket. So that starts and she's flipping her head to get the blanket off. When she finally does, she looks at me, yawns, and then has now buried her head again. Like, okay.
That's hilarious.
I know. Oh, let's start saying howdy. Hello, Darla and Erica. How are you ladies today? Yarn Barf says she's just going to leave us a thumb, but thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you.
There's Denise, DK Jen, and Susan. I already talked to Mama Gwen and Ricola. How are you today? I'm so happy you're all here.
Long time no see, Ricola. It's good to see you.
Thank you. I like that name.
He is looking fabulous, isn't he, Darla?
Look at that. Doesn't he look amazing? He is all decked out.
He is. Isn't he gorgeous today?
I didn't do TFF, by the way.
No, that's not for TFF. He did it just for us ladies. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Hey, Zoila.
Hello, Zoila. How are you doing? How's your mama doing, sweetie?
Yes. Oh, amazing, Mod Zoila. You are awesome. We really appreciate all the help you give us, Zoila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to point him out. I'm sorry. You guys can't blame me for that.
I was doing a fashion show for Froggy, Maureen, and that. I just take it off.
He's trying to figure out what to wear, what goes nice with his suit jacket, because his mama's getting married. And so, he's got to look nice. And I think we've settled on this one. It is, isn't it, Zoila?
Don't he look good?
Mm-hmm.
He looks
awesome.
Congratulations. It's wonderful news.
That's right.
Yeah, great news.
That's awesome. I love it.
Looks runway ready.
Maybe I should get down to Vogue and see if they'll hire me.
And if Vogue doesn't, I'm sure GQ will.
Yeah.
You look amazing. I'm just saying, you do.
Yeah. So how has everyone's weekend been? I hope you've had a great weekend and have had a chance to recharge and get ready for a new week. Let us know what you did to kind of take some pressure off.
Oh, thank you, Zoila.
I've been crocheting flat out for the past 2 days.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
I think I've crocheted like 20 hours in the past 2 days.
Wow.
Busy boy, yes. And it's amazing what you've done. But we're not going to say because it's a gift.
That's
and my mum stalks me on YouTube, so.
Yeah.
So we don't share that information.
No.
No. And you can probably see a little bit in my background. My kitties are going.
Yep. Little tail back there.
Oh, they're making a mess.
Yes, I can hear.
You hear them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're making a mess. But yes, Zoila is kind enough to drop our links, guys. See,
oh, there you are.
Yeah, she did. She dropped my link. She dropped Maureen's, and she dropped Daniel's. And you already have Coco's if you're here.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Self-explanatory.
Erica. Well, you were
Oh.
home. She had one homesick. Of course, let's see, what was it? Friday? You
Mhm.
had a migraine and had one homesick. So have they passed on whatever got them sick on to you, sweetie?
Oh, I'm
hope
so sorry.
Yeah.
But at
Mm.
least you got the crochet.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Jen, you're working in the heat. Oh,
Oh, don't like that. Yep,
don't
he
like
got
the
me
heat.
sick. I'm so
I'm
sorry.
so sorry,
sweetie.
Erica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No
not-
worries, Zoila. I'm fluent in typo.
Yeah.
You should
I
see
think
the
we
cryptic
all are.
texts I get from my mother.
Oh, yeah. And she gets them from me, too. I'm just saying. I'm really bad about typos.
I don't always pay attention to autocorrect, and my little daughter will correct me. She'll say, "Mom, do you ever stop and read before you hit send?" And I'm like, "No, I don't."
No, and we hate autocorrect. Oh, it's awful.
Mm,
Oh, goodness forbid autocorrect.
yeah.
It does some fun things.
Oh, yeah.
People like you, though, make for some good memes sometimes.
Yeah, I do. Maureen makes
Cinco de Mayo.
great-
Dara, yes. Cinco
Yes,
de Mayo
yes.
Day.
Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
It's also my dad's birthday.
You
So,
want
yeah,
to get a sombrero, Dan?
we might have.
Who
But
knows?
yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Mm-hmm. For those of you that celebrate it, they started here in Florida Friday evening celebrating, and they are still going strong.
Well, happy birthday to my dad in heaven.
Yes.
So it's wonderful. But definitely, Viva Cinco de Mayo.
What win about sombrero? Did I
We
miss
thought
something?
you went to go get one.
Yeah, we were
Oh,
talking about Cinco de
no.
Mayo, and you took off. So I'm like, you got to get a sombrero?
No, my mum messaged me, so I had to send her a picture of my suit.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
good.
I was worried she was watching and just.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't buy tacos. I should have bought tacos today. I just got back from the grocery store.
you should have a margarita.
I forgot I've got cocktails downstairs.
Margarita time.
Yes, it is.
It's Cinco de Mayo. You need to have a margarita.
I don't have
That's
margarita. I've only,
I've got
only
pina colada stuff upstairs, I think. Maybe later I'll make a pina colada.
Woo!
I've only
They're
got
loud.
martinis.
I don't have ice, though.
Well, those of you that
Thank
watched the
you,
Kentucky Derby yesterday, I do hope that you had your mint julep and your big hat on.
I did watch the Derby yesterday. I absolutely loved it. Mystic Dan won, and it was a photo finish. And of course, thanks to Sherry Kay, my doll is all ready for the Derby.
Yes, she
That's
was.
adorable.
My doll is all ready for the Derby. Yes, Dan is jealous. I'm just saying.
No, no.
Your doll doesn't have the big hat ready for the Derby.
I don't care.
He is ready for the Derby. I love the Kentucky Derby.
His dress is frillier.
Yeah.
His dress is gorgeous, and he knows I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
But,
his dress is gorgeous, but yours is more classic of what you would see
Yeah.
At the Derby.
Kentucky Derby started. Yes.
Yeah. That
And
hat's
I do
awesome.
watch the Triple Crown, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
I do watch the Triple Crown, and
do
I'm
too.
real excited. I hope Mystic Dan takes the crown this year.
Yep.
Mystic Dan was 18-1, and that was a hell of a payoff.
Yep. I told Wayne, too bad we didn't bet on that one.
I wish I'd have laid a cool 1,000 on it.
I
Yeah.
like that name, Mystic Dan.
That's the horse that won yesterday,
Yes.
the Derby.
It's me, Dan's new alias.
Mystic, there you go. Yeah.
I need to see
Hey,
it.
Leslie, it's good to see you.
Is it
How are
spelled?
you doing?
It's spelled weirdly. It's not spelled like usual Mystic.
MYSTIC, Mystic Dan.
Oh, he's pretty.
Isn't
Isn't
he
he?
beautiful?
And what's really funny is when they were pulling them out, and everything, we had the volume off because Wayne was talking to his brother. Of course, they were watching it together. And I said, "Oh, that one's pretty. I hope he's the winner." And Wayne said, "You do know that there's a little bit more involved in who wins the race." I said, "Yes, I do." But I said, "Still, he's pretty." And lo and behold, who won?
I picked him. I liked him because I liked this jockey's colors.
Oh, I like the horse.
It's green.
If ever I'm watching a sports
green.
thing where I don't have a
green.
team to root for, I root for
Right.
whoever I like their uniform better.
Uh-huh.
I like their colors. I like the greens.
I
And Dan's right, it was green.
I usually go for the names, and I would have so gone for Mystic Dan.
I would have gone for, I was fine with the name, and I loved the jockey's green colors.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I hope he wins. And what happened? Mystic
He
Dan
wins.
won.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
I should have sent someone some money and be like, "Can you put a bet on this horse for me?"
I was so excited. Hey, Amy.
Hello.
It was weird
Hello,
the way he won.
Amy. Oh, you're driving
Drive
home
safe.
from here.
It was very weird. That's really funny because Dan would have done it, Maureen would have done it, and I would have done it too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, especially the 18-1. Oh yeah. Now, if I bet on a horse, I only would have bet like $10.
Oh, you bet more than me.
I would have only bet $10 on the horse.
I might have gone up as high as 100 if I really like
Maybe.
the horse. Dude, how pretty he is.
Maybe.
I have to look up Mystic Dan to see how pretty he is after, but
He's pretty.
Mhm.
definitely not 1,000 on an 18-1.
Here, I'll show you what he looks like. I show
He's
you.
gorgeous.
Yay.
Okay.
No, I want that.
He
Love you.
really is gorgeous.
I'll show you what he looks like. I've got him up.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yay.
He's a beautiful horse.
There he is.
Isn't
Oh,
he
yeah.
beautiful?
Look at him.
Now you know why I like the jockey's uniform.
He's wearing
Yeah.
knee-high boots.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, they all do.
They all do, yeah.
Isn't that
Oh, really?
horse
Okay.
pretty?
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
horse.
Mm.
Yes.
Very pretty horse.
But yeah, that's Mystic Dan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I still remember after the race, and they hadn't called it yet because it was a photo finish.
They're a three-way tie.
Yeah. And they went over to the trainer at Mystic Dan, and you know, they're asking him how he feels, you know, with the way the horse finished, and he's all excited and everything. And the guy behind him, because they had just called it for Mystic Dan, and the guy behind it starts woohoo, woohoo, and pats him on the shoulders. It was so funny.
Yep.
Oh, I got a laugh out of it.
Sherry, you missed it. Me and Froggy were just arguing who has the better Barbie dress.
Oh, hey, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry.
Hello, Sherry K. And Michelle Mosaic. How are you, sweetheart?
Hey,
Do
hey
your
Michelle.
height requirements? I believe
Yeah.
they do.
A
They have
height
a
and
height.
weight.
And a
And
weight.
weight, yeah.
Yeah, height and
Yeah.
weight.
They can only be so high, and they can
Yep.
only weigh a certain amount. And
Right.
normally jockeys run in families. Normally it's like the father's a jockey, the son will be a jockey.
Yeah,
Oh,
they go in for weigh-in. So professional jockeys must meet a strict weight restriction to be able to ride. They also have to have a fitness requirement, a tack-up requirement, warm-up control, and they also have to have a riding assessment.
Yes,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
they're very,
baby.
very strict.
Hello,
There's our
Quick
sweet
Granny D.
Granny D.
Wow.
Granny D, thank you so much for rating us every week. This is
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yes, and it's really interesting to see and to watch them go through their weigh-ins.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wonder if jockeys are careful about making sure they marry a short woman.
I don't know.
I don't know.
My first husband, Cody and Christian's dad, is Mexican and he's very tiny, but he married me
Mhm. Right.
and I reproduced for him, and my kids are taller than him. So, like,
It could be. I know that if they take like the average weight of all the jockeys, and they will add weight to those that are underweight.
Yeah.
They will do that. They are very particular.
Yeah, 'cause
They
it says,
all have to weigh the same.
it says
Yeah.
here, our riders, on the other hand, must not exceed a maximum weight to be agreed prior to the race. It depends on the race,
Right.
including the necessary kit. So they must be holding all of their kit and meet the maximum weight.
Yes.
For some, it means months of preparation to make sure they come in underway. Otherwise, they risk falling at the first hurdle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they can be barred from the race.
Well, and that's the reason why some they call them houses that race horses, they will have more than one jockey.
Yes.
You know, of course, they like to have one jockey that rides, you know, say horse A, they want jockey A on all the time, but they always have a backup jockey for that one as well. I mean, you know, and some of them that can afford it, they'll have 2 and 3 jockeys for one horse, just in case something at the last minute goes haywire. You know, you invest a lot of time and money in those animals. Yeah.
And they also,
I didn't realize
they do have female jockeys now.
They also have to meet a fitness requirement.
Yep.
By having an underweight, being under a certain weight, jockeys must also be able to control a fast-pacing horse. Professional jockeys are athletes, so they must be extremely fit and healthy. So you could be underweight, but if you don't pass the fitness test, then you're out.
Well, and you know, like
I just assumed the weight had to do with like allowing the horse to run faster. I didn't realize it was a safety issue also.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they have to go through a variety of tests, including cardiovascular and strength exercises with elements marked to give an overall percentage of fitness. They must exceed 60% overall in the assessment.
Wow.
Immediately I would fail with cardiovascular stuff. I'd be like, no, I'm out.
Oh no, they're very picky about jockeys. I mean, not just anybody can be a jockey. They're actually more stricter on jockeys than they are on football players.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yes, they're very, very, very picky.
Well, you know, it's all about the horse.
It is.
And you're expecting a horse to run at its top maximum speed. And here you've encumbered it with a saddle and a rider. So, I mean, it's out there in the field running with its weight. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to pack on another, say, possible 100 pounds or more, depending. So they really do restrict how much more. Like you said, they take an average. Yeah.
Okay. They also need a riding assessment. And it says, our dog may be avid riders, but handling a thoroughbred racehorse can be challenging. It's quite different to your average hack-out, which I guess means a normal horse. Jockeys must have the ability to gallop at least 6 furlongs at one time, and critically, they must be able to demonstrate that they're able to monitor pace and control a racehorse at canter according to the assessor's instruction. It may be the case that the rider is asked to ride 2 different racehorses during an assessment.
Yes. The jockey weight limit for the Derby is 125 pounds or less. The height is around 5 foot tall.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Hello, Kristen. How are you, sweetie?
I need one of those, not the other one.
And on here, it's from the racingpost.com. Jockeys have been known to use rapid weight loss techniques to make the weight, such as self-induced vomiting or flipping, as it is known in the trade, and diuretics, also known as water pills.
Yeah, because if they have to be in shape, muscle weighs more than fat even.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I can see them,
If a jockey's weight exceeds 3 pounds overweight, including their helmet and vest when weighing in, after a race, they are subject to disciplinary action. Wow.
Bye, Zoila. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
She's going to leave us running, but she's got a thing to go to. Hello, Nancy. Well, the only other thing that I do want to say is, you know, when you're talking about them being able to control the horse, you got to think once that horse meets its top speed and it's in there with a lot of other horses, you've got to look at the riders around you. You've got to be able to match and understand his speed because, you know, even right after they cross the finish line, It's all about physics. The faster you go, the longer it's going to take for you to slow down. It doesn't matter if it's a car, a bicycle, even a horse. You know, so you gotta know how to control a horse just like you know how to drive a car.
Yeah.
Well, they weigh them again.
We love you too, Zoila.
The race. They weigh them again.
She doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
And if they come in 2 pounds under his or her mount, they shall be disqualified. Wow. That's
like I said, it's a very small window. Very small. And like DK Jen said a while ago, we even now have female jockeys.
Yes, we do have female jockeys.
It's a male sport. Sorry.
And there's something to do with horses in the Olympics now, isn't there?
Yes.
Is there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it's called, but it was on last year because I watched it. I can't remember what they called it though.
Yeah.
I find their restrictions. I find that interesting. I don't necessarily approve of it, but I understand why they do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's very difficult on them. They're very hard on their bodies.
Zoila, do not miss that Zoom meeting. Evidently, it's important. So go do it.
It's called the Olympic Equestrian.
There you go.
There you go.
I knew it was equestrian, but I didn't know what they called it.
They're very hard on them.
Who'd have thunk? Come to TFF, we talk about horses.
Well, that's because it's the beginning of the Triple Crown, and it's a big deal in our country. You know, it is a big deal. But I guess we should get back on topic. We're going to talk about tips, tricks, and hacks again.
Part 2.
Part 2. We may do a part 3. I don't know. But we are all about that. So I will start us off. When you're going to crochet, it is a good idea to set a 25 to 30 minute timer. You know, crochet until it goes off and then set another 5-minute timer. Use that 5 minutes to stretch your hand. It gives you a break. Fix your posture, whatever you need. Gives your eyes a break. The repetitive small movements can cause injury when working for long periods of time. It might be important too to maybe take a day or 2 off from crochet. Your hands and wrists will thank you for it.
Yep.
Maybe
I'm
before
so distracted by the meow meows. I'm sorry.
I
know.
Maybe before you begin, start by stretching your hands. You know,
I didn't listen to that trick when I was
stretch your wrists. You know, you need to do these kind of things. But like every half hour or so, stop and fix your posture, because a lot of times you find yourself leaning over your work, and it's not good for your neck. It's not
or
really
your
good
back.
for your back, and you'll need to fix your posture and correct. And ideally, you should sit up and crochet. You know, maybe put a pillow in your lap to rest your arms on and crochet.
My Grandma always crocheted with her hands up on the table.
It's good.
I can't do that. I cannot do that. But she would sit there on the
tutorials prove that.
Yes, my tutorial. You're absolutely right, man. I just can't. I find myself coming out of the camera frame. It's like, I got to get back up here. And I can't do it.
I can crochet on the desk in here because my chair's set up to this level. Yes, it is hard to keep my arms out for the tutorial, but I can crochet here. Now, I have what's called a Volare.
Isn't that an old car? I think my parents had a Volare.
A Volare pillow.
Back in the 70s.
It's like the boppy pillows. It goes around my waist.
Right.
But it's on a larger scale than a boppy. It's way bigger.
Like a nursing pillow, kind of.
It goes around your waist. But it keeps my arms up here, and I can rest my arms on it, and I can crochet. And I use that in the living room when I'm doing it. Yeah, I sit in the recliner with my feet up with my Volare pillow so that I keep my arms resting on something.
Well, see, I sit in an office chair. I mean, that's how I crochet. I sit in an office chair that has arms, and this is where I crochet.
Yeah, and I don't see this in like any of the other tips. When like my old chair, like I don't know, when I crochet, I actually switch chairs because the arms you can up and down independently.
Oh,
and when
really?
I crochet, I like one arm to be higher than the other, like my hook hand to be higher. So like give that a try if you can do that. Give it a try, having the hook hand higher or lower depending on your style of crochet.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
I love Leslie's. She says I use a weenie dog in place of the pillow. I can get Lacey to lay in my lap and not be so heavy, you know.
This is one of the pillows that I use. I don't use this exact one, but it looks just like this. I just have a different color. Mine's green. Are you surprised? They come in many different colors. And yes, I can hook it behind my back like it shows. But it does great. The covers come off to be washed and everything. I have a couple different covers for it. But this works good. I rest my arm here and here. And then right here is in front of me, and I can I crochet right here. I can even crochet a blanket with this, and it's perfectly comfortable.
Wow.
Yeah. So speaking of blankets, if you don't want to spend $80, maybe even like a lapgan or something, if you roll it up and put it around you, that could work too.
That would work wonderful. Now, I wanted the pillow. Okay. It's bigger than a boppy.
Right.
It's because I had boppy pillows as well, but those are much smaller. This is big enough to go around my big belly.
Right.
And I put my recliner with my feet up and I set that there and I just crochet away and it works great. Yes, an Afghan rolled up would do wonders.
Yeah.
What if you could put two pillows next to you? Hey, Bryn. And prop your arms up to crochet. That would be great. But find a way to support your arms.
Yeah. Well, because then you'd be surprised, really. It throws your chest back and your, shoulders back, really. And it just makes a whole lot of difference. Susan says, yep, a good nursing pillow works too.
It does. That's what the boppy is. The Valori is just a larger size of it.
Version.
Than the nursing pillow. That's all it is. It's just a bigger size of it. I'm too big for the nursing pillow. Yours looks like Daniel's and you're a leaner when you crochet, but other days I sit straight and crochet close up. Yeah,
I'm a leaner too. I tend to lean to one side when I'm crocheting.
Right.
Well, I'm leaning to one side, which I should be sitting. I sit straight up. I'm more comfortable sitting.
How are you, sweetie?
Hi, Chris. I find it more comfortable to sit straight up, which I'm obviously not. But I do. Sitting vertical for me is more comfortable.
Right.
Yeah. When I was doing a tutorial, I lean back and
to crochet. Most people prefer to lean back. I don't. I like to sit up. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
He is looking sharp.
That was one of the hints. Anyway, if y'all want to go on with the next bullet,
I can do it, but I need to get it up because I haven't actually got it.
I'm gonna say, Coco, you wanna go to the next one, Coco?
Yeah, sure. Watch lots of videos when learning the new techniques and stitches. Crochet is quite a fluid fiber art, and there can be different ways to achieve the same effect. Adopt the one that works best for you. Yeah, exactly. Like just last week, the different not slip knots, the magic ring. There's so many ways to accomplish the same thing. So find what works best for you, for sure.
Absolutely.
And coming from a public teacher's point of view, folks, there is always more than one way to skin a rabbit. There just really is. That's what I used to tell my kids all the time. That they would say, well, my previous teacher taught me to do it this way. Is it okay if I do it this way? Sure it is. You just have to find what works and makes sense to you. So it works the same way, especially here with our crocheting techniques.
Well, it's no different than hold your hook like this. Hold your hook like this. I mean, I hold my hook like this. There are so many ways.
Yeah, I barely hold mine at all.
Yeah, there's some that are way back here on the hook. I'm like, how in the world can you control that thing? But they do.
They do. I mean, there's so many ways to hold a hook. I mean, you can barely hold it with your fingers and do it.
Well, too.
I have to choke on
wrap the yarn around our fingers, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I
all
can't.
hold
I
it
can't.
differently.
And the ones that can just hold it like this and
I know.
crochet, how
I'm
in
excited.
the world? But they do it. You know, it's just awesome. I
I'm
mean,
one of
there's
those people. It's more
I
of a
know.
guide than tension, whatever. I just like I can't. I'm tugging too much. If I wrap it in any, even just like around my pinky, just anything,
Really?
it drags.
Really?
I can't. I cannot.
I wrap mine like Maureen does.
Yeah. This is the way my grandma taught me. You know, she said
Yeah.
it's just like the sewing machine tension. You know, this, I mean, I see it and it makes sense to me, but boy, I just want to pinch it and hold on to it. And so I can't crochet that way.
No,
Yeah, no. I'm the
it's
opposite.
just another one. Go
Cannot.
ahead, Dan. You ready? Your son was having trouble holding his hook. I'm sorry. Holding his hook in the way you do. You changed it up and now he can do his chains easy. Oh, okay.
I know.
Yep.
It happens.
I hear you, Nancy, but it's the same way with my oldest daughter. Now, of course, she and I fought right at first when I was teaching her, because I've said to some of you before, you know, she's a lefty and her grandmother got her going. But my daughter is one of those that she just wraps it once around her finger and then she holds the yarn. You know, she can't do all this with the fingering like I do. And even though she is a pencil holder like I am, she holds not all the way out here, but like
Wow.
that. And now she does crochet more loosely than I do, but hey, her work still looks just as pretty as mine, so I don't care.
I'm sorry, Dan. You go ahead.
It's okay to frog your work.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes.
One of the joys of crochet versus
Oh.
knitting is it's so easy to go back to your mistake.
And
Oh my goodness.
and it's been written all in block capitals. So
Always remember that. It's okay
Yeah.
to frog your work. It's okay to rip it out.
That's right.
You know?
You know,
And it's also okay to fudge it. If it's not a huge mistake,
Yeah.
you can fudge
Fudge
it
it.
too to make up for
Yeah.
the missing or added whatever. Like
It's
Mhm.
okay. No
Yeah.
one is threatening your life. You can
No.
frog. If you don't like it, rip
Right.
it out.
Exactly. That's
If you-
to me, that's one of the big things about frogging. If you don't like it, you know, like some people can as you said, fudge it, and it doesn't bother them, and they go right along, you know. But me, I know the mistakes there, and whether it's for myself, or especially if I'm giving it as a gift or something, you know, I can't let it go. I've got to frog it and pull it out. But if you're one of those that can, you know, fix the mistake, then fix it and go on. But
I made a
if you're
mistake.
if you're 20 years past, if you're 20 rows past, you're like, oh, I don't want to fudge it. But if you're like a row or two,
See, I'm different because I made a mistake in my blanket and it was like 4 rows down, and I didn't notice until like I'd gone up I had to rip 4 rows of 200 stitches back, and I was like, no, because it's a gift. I'm not going. I don't want. Yeah, I didn't
I
want.
understand.
yeah.
and
And-
again, some boo-boos are more noticeable than others too. Like if it's
Right.
a noticeable one, frog it back. I don't care how
You
far
need to
ahead you
get
are,
it
frog
out.
it back.
Mhm.
Unless it's for
Right.
yourself and you don't care.
I also consider it fudging it if you don't want to do popcorns and you do baubles instead.
Right. Exactly.
Fudging it. And I will fudge. I'm not a fan of popcorns.
I
I'll
know.
do baubles.
Yep.
You know, I don't see a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of anything that slows me down. When I go, I go.
Right. So I'm going to catch up with the chat. Nancy says we are both lefties, but I crochet righty. He crochets lefty. Erica said amen to the frogging. Sandra says, I just wrapped I just wrap around my left index finger a couple of times. I never learned a correct way. That's because there is no correct way.
That's
what
right. It's what's comfortable for you.
Sherry says, absolutely, but I can't fudge my work. I understand. Erica says, oh yeah, I fudge all the time if my mistake is too far down. I understand. Sandra said, some projects can be fudged, like adding a stitch, but others cannot. I agree with that. Suzanne says, some people hold their crochet hook still and move their opposite end and wrap their yarn. That is correct. And Gwen said, The Irish say to make a mistake so that you can release your soul from your project. And yes, I have heard that.
Oh, that's cool. I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
Yes. And Laura, it's good to see you. I'm glad you got caught up on the hockey game, and thank you for the raid. Nancy said, I uploaded my son's video of his chain making on his channel. That's wonderful.
I saw that.
Absolutely.
I saw that.
But there's no
Y'all
reason.
made me pick up one of my projects just to remember how I hold it because it's been so long. I literally just wrap it and I kind of like hold it with my pinky.
See that's that's how I hold my yarn.
Okay.
Attention with my pinky.
If you're making a project and then you're not feeling it, you don't like it.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't finish this. I really hate it. How about instead of putting it in timeout, just rip it out?
That's
It
right.
doesn't matter. Repurpose the yarn for something else.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was going to say. Use it for something else.
You know, I have a bunch of projects in project bags that are in timeout because I wasn't feeling them.
Right.
I need to pull them out and frog them. There's no reason to leave them in there because I just don't feel them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need to pull them out and just frog them because my heart's not in it. Then I shouldn't keep them like that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Nancy says, I uploaded my son's video of his chain making on his channel. That's awesome.
You know, there's no reason to go on. So
when I was
is not a bad thing. So go ahead, Coco.
Yeah, when I was teaching Cohen, my youngest, I was teaching him the chain, and he couldn't tension it. He couldn't like hold it at all. So I actually have like a quick 2-minute tutorial on my channel for making like a little like ring thing for tension.
Yeah.
And then I sent him off. He crocheted a chain, I swear to God, long enough to go reach the neighbors next door.
Wow.
But that's good. You know, really.
That is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start a Trash It Tuesday video series where I can unravel projects. Wonderful, Erica.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Maureen, why don't you go to the next one?
All right. Now, this is something that I guess I never really thought about, but if winding your yarn into a ball, in other words, you know, you're doing it by hand, wind it loosely. Think gently laying the yarn around itself. It should be squishy. If it's tight, it will ruin the yarn. And in fact, the quote where I found this said, if you can bounce the ball, then you have ruined the yarn.
Well,
I was like,
it puts too much of a stretch on it.
Right.
Hi, TDB.
Hello, TDP. How are you, sweetheart?
You don't want to put a stretch on the yarn. It ruins it.
No. Yep.
And that's another reason they say, like, unless you need it done for you,
right?
Like, and you buy a hank, don't wind it until you're ready to use it.
Exactly. No. Exactly.
Now, I'm going to skip ahead to one, but now if you really need to wind it, use your Swift and yarn winder, or if you're taking it out of the skein, use a yarn winder.
Right.
Hey, Nick.
Hello, Nick. How are you doing?
Awesome sauce.
Ooh, on Saturday.
And another item that you can use if you don't have a yarn winder and you want something that's cheaper to hand wind, you can use one of these. Oh, you can use one of these right here. These are very inexpensive. They're called nostipens. And you wind your yarn around the nostipen. See? And what it does is it creates a void in the middle of the yarn so that when you take it off the nostipen, the yarn will relax into that void.
Yep.
And it works real good. See, all it is a stick. It's just a stick. It's a fancy stick. See? You can get these on Etsy for like $10.
Right.
That's US numbers. But see, They have a bunch of them available. Unless you go for like, see, here's a nice one. Look at that. And they're really, really cool. Now, that's a Nostapen. Now, I have one somewhere. I don't know where it is. So, I'm not advertising for them. But when I don't know where my Nostapen is, pull up my...
Erica says, I've used an empty paper towel. You know, the cardboard from your paper towel before. Yep.
Oh, yeah. You can get them outside under the tree. Make sure it's sanded. Make sure it's sanded. This is what I'll do. I'll open up my bottle. I'll stick my tail in so I can squeeze it. And
there
then,
you go. Finish it. There you go.
There it is. And then I just wind all the way around this bottle until my whole thing is done. And then I will slide it off on the smooth end. Then I'll just slide it off. And it'll come off nicely for me. Now, obviously, I didn't wind the whole thing. And then to get my inside tail, you know, to begin from the center of the ball, it comes out of my cap. And I will have
your little
tail. But that's what I use since I can't find my
you're not the pin.
Yeah, but that's what I do. I will wind it around a pill bottle. Now, mind you, I'm not using a small one.
Right.
I'm using a fat one.
Right.
See the big difference? I'm using a fat one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Coco, that's a great idea. Frog It or Finish It series.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday wanted to say hello.
You get her.
She's been climbing up here. Mm-hmm. But I think you should go for it. I think you should do it.
Both of you. I mean, you both have different things that you're going to either have to make up your mind to frog or finish.
Oh, but is that your title, Frog It or Finish It? I thought I came up with that like a year or two ago.
But there's a lot of people that use that.
So we're going to go on to the next one. I'll do it. The next one is block your work, finish the work properly. It will look even more beautiful and look much higher quality in the end. It is worth the effort. Block your work.
Trash It Tuesday.
Yeah.
It will be nice if you block your work. That means to wash it and to pin it out.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of folks don't like doing that. Just like a lot.
Don't do your dish rags.
No. No, we're talking more of like your wearables.
Do your sweaters, do your shawls.
Exactly right. Right.
I block my hand knit socks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know?
Suzanne, if you wear a Fitbit and you wind yarn, it makes it count as steps.
You know, yes, Darla. Block it so you can rock it.
Yep.
Now, if you've got a king size blanket, I understand that you don't have the room to block it.
Yeah, I'm not blocking my blanket. Think again.
No.
That makes sense. I get it. You don't.
No.
But if you need a shawl or something, do the shawl.
Yes.
If you don't have blocking mats, lay out some towels or an old blanket and pin it out on that.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just get those kiddie foam mats.
I have the foam mats from the kids, the play mats with the alphabet cut out of them. I use those all the time.
I take another
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I still have an idea in my brain that needs to come to fruition for how to make something that you can block a large shawl or blanket without it taking up space. And now that I have access to my garage and the bee's gone, hopefully this summer I can actually get it done, get a video to show you how to do one.
That would be good. I like that.
I've seen some people, they will scour garage sales for yoga mats.
Yoga mats are good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they will lay them out somewhere and they use them just as well. And some of them they'll even cut up, to different sizes for different projects.
Yeah. The kitty mats with the alphabet cut out of them, I got mine on a clearance sale from TJ Maxx, and I paid like $5 for a full set.
Right. Well, and
So,
like Mama Gwen said, yeah, you can buy things like that even at the thrift store.
yeah, those are well worth it.
They sure are.
Now, I do have a set of blocking mats that I actually got not long ago. But I still go back to my alphabet because it is so much bigger. It's the full alphabet.
Right.
It's 30 squares.
Yeah,
So
I don't make many wearables, so literally the only time I've ever blocked anything was for our blocking episode.
Awesome.
No, I block all my wearables and my shawls. Yeah, wraps, I should say, because I don't make very many triangular shawls. Mine are all wraps because that's what I prefer to wear. Now, somebody makes me one because I have had a couple of them gifted to me. I love wearing them. I just don't like making them.
Well, I'm making one that was made for me by Sherry Kay. I love it. All right, Coco, you want to do the next one? Because we're running.
Yeah, where are we at? Blocking. Okay. Prop your project up. Sitting with your head looking down for hours is really bad for your neck. Take care of your spine.
And that goes along with the, sitting back.
Posture stuff, yeah.
Yeah, from the very first one. Right.
Oh, I understand, Teresa.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't block Afghans. Okay. All right, Dan, you want the next one?
Use tights, pantyhose, stockings to keep stuffing inside amigurumi and other stuffed projects. Buy cheap tights in a color that will blend well with the project. Makes it easier to wash the handmade toys as well.
Yeah. Oh, those are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Love those. I buy mine at Dollar Tree.
Yep.
Yeah, you get a whole pack of like knee-high stockings.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's what I get, are the knee-highs.
And I like the browns, the tans, and the blacks.
Yes. Yep. They are fantastic. So when I stuff most of my, not all, but most of my amigurumi, I use knee-high stockings because they will stretch. And I will stuff them with the polyfill, stick it in my amigurumi, or I'll stick the hose in the amigurumi first and start stuffing it. And that's in my amigurumi. It keeps the fluff from popping through the holes.
Right. Yeah. Or if like you use your yarn ends, your whatever, it helps that too from poking through.
Yeah.
It's really good for children who like to stick their fingers in between the crochet stitches.
Right.
And they can't pull the polyfill out. It's very helpful. It works really good.
Sure does.
You had to buy extra blocking mats just for the shawls. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry. Oh, I'm sorry. So go ahead, Maureen, with the next one.
When working in the round, so that you don't get that rectangular, not rectangular, excuse me, hexagonal look to it, stagger your increase stitches. This will avoid the circle having the hexagonal shape.
Yeah, we had to talk about this the other day.
Yes,
hey, Joseph.
Hello, JT. How you doing? We're so glad you're here today. And there's Darcia.
Oh, yeah. We had to talk about this.
We did.
How we do our decreases. You can do your increases the same way.
I'm going to show you the head on this doll.
Look at that.
Where you can see the increase sections here. It looks like little pie sections that are going on.
Yeah.
Well, now I am starting on the, pull up my hook here. Oh, come on. I don't want to lose the stitch.
I don't think I've done any amigurumis recently that I can look at.
Well, this was, I found this and I went, that really makes sense. And it sure is going to make it look prettier. Now look at this one. You can barely see where the increase sections are.
Now you can see my hole, but you don't see them.
Nope.
I wonder if you can see it on here.
Thank goodness you continued, because all you said was you could see my whole butt.
The way we do them is, I'm going to say it out loud. That's how you write your pattern, stagger them. Okay,
Yes.
you would do single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease all the way around. Next one, you would do single crochet, decrease, single crochet, then single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease all the way around.
Right.
And then you'll have to do single crochet, decrease, single crochet, slip stitch to the first stitch, unless you're working in a spiral. And then for the next round, it's going to be single, 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 decrease all the way around. And then for round 4, it's going to be single, single, decrease, single, single, and then single, 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 decrease.
Right.
4 singles, decrease, 4 singles, decrease all the way around. And for the last section, it'll be 4 singles, a decrease, and then 2 singles. Because what you're doing is, oh, thank you, Joseph. Thank you.
Oh, JT, that was awesome. Just do some yarn in Daniel's video.
Every other round, you're shifting.
Yes.
The decreases. That's all you're doing. It helps keep it from looking
like somebody cut the little pie shapes. You know, look at that. Looks like I've got little pie sections on my. And I did this just and left it for y'all to see.
Yeah. And it does the same with the increases
and the decreases.
You would do single, increase, and you would do the same thing either way. It just the second round shifts, so every other round will shift.
Right.
It works really well, especially with amigurumis, so you don't end up with those pie shapes going out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if y'all understood. We'll have to do an episode demonstrating that for you guys.
And see, she does hers different from what I started doing mine with, because but I think, like you said, I think we need to do an episode on where we show them different ways, because there is more than one way to stagger your increases and decreases, especially when you're working amigurumi, so that you don't get that.
Well, another way to do it is you do the stitches and then the increase or decrease, or you put the increase or decrease in the beginning and then do the stitches. I mean, there's a lot of different ways of doing it. You just follow the pattern. I don't always, I do the increases or decreases the pattern asks for, but I will shift them every other round.
Right.
I don't let that look. Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. So sweet.
That's so sweet.
Hang on. There we go. Here's for Nancy.
That was awesome.
And just because it's on my channel, we got to get Chris Farley. It's been a minute. Here we go.
I know. I know. I want Chris Farley. I was like, what are you playing that one for? Where's Chris Farley?
Well, I used the TFF one first, but I'm like, no, we're on my channel. We're using Chris Farley too.
There you go. Yes.
He is the favorite. So we will do an episode on how to do that.
Yes, to stagger it. Yes, especially for those of you that love doing amigurumi. I mean, you may already know this trick, or might be something for you to look at. But those of you that are new, just starting in it, might be something for you to consider.
Okay, and we don't have much more time. We're going to have to.
We talked too much about horses.
Yeah, we did spend too much time talking about horses. I'm looking for the yarn. This one I'm going to have to demonstrate for you guys on another episode. But when you're working into both sides of the chain, what I do is I will leave a long tail the length of my chain, and I will lay that tail down the chain, and I will work over the tail and in the first loop of the chain as I go all the way down. And then I'll turn the corner and I will work in the 2 other loops of the chain and work my way back down. That creates an equal thickness on both sides of the chain. So I'm going to have to demonstrate that. We don't have enough time. We'll have to demonstrate that when we do the increases.
But that next week's topic has been decided.
We've decided next week's topic. It creates an equal thickness on both sides of the chain for you when you do it, and it keeps it from really, it's still going to pull open on you, but not as bad. It's hard to explain why it works that way, but that's
another workaround for that is to do the stand or the foundation single crochet.
Right.
Yes, I like the foundation, and then to go back down the foundation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is for people who don't like to do the foundation.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we only have like 7 minutes left, or whatever it is.
What's up with that?
Yeah. So we can go back to horses if you guys want.
No, I want to read the very last one because I think this is important for all of us to know or to be reminded of.
Yeah,
Do
go ahead.
not judge yourself against others.
Yeah.
We all have to start somewhere, from the one that's just starting out to most experienced professional out there. We all started out with wonky edges, too tight stitches or too loose stitches, yarn in ugly colors, and having to frog constantly. You're not a bad artist just because you're using inherited, gifted, or even thrift store find yarns. You're not a bad artist just because your work isn't perfectly square. You're not a bad artist because you don't write down your own patterns or always follow the colors suggested in those of people's other patterns. And you're not a bad artist just because you are at a different skill level than everyone else. You're not a bad artist because you take too long in your crocheting. And you're not a bad artist because of how much time that you get to have or not have to crochet. Always remember, you are your worst critic. Comparison is the thief of joy. So all you have to do when you start wanting to compare yourself against somebody else or someone else's work, tell that comparison to take a hike. Because we are all individuals. What we do with our craft is nobody else can replicate what we do individually. All 4 of us here, we can sit down and do the exact same project, but ours is going
4 different ways.
Yep. That is exactly right. So
and they're all completely different. So
that's right. That's right. So quit criticizing yourself when your project doesn't look exactly like everybody else's, even though you think it should. Just remember, you're unique, and your project that you're doing is going to be unique as well.
Yes. Don't keep criticizing yourself.
No, you're robbing yourself.
And that's literally the attraction of handmade stuff, is that it's unique. Every piece is unique.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I love handmade items.
I do too.
They are some of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I treasure handmade items more than shop bought items.
Yeah,
yes.
I far more treasure my items that I've received that are handmade. They mean more to me because someone took the time and thought about me while they were making them.
Mm-hmm.
Do I expect perfection? No, it's handmade.
That's right.
There is no perfection. And, I am one of the slowest ones out there because I can't see.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that. Sometimes I don't get stuff done because I can't see and I go slow. I know I do. I used to be fast. I judge myself against myself.
Right.
I am very hard on myself because I used to be very fast when I could see. Yeah. I need to stop being hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fact that you can do it at all without the vision is awesome.
Right.
So
the fact that I can crochet by feel is amazing.
That's right.
But stop giving yourself a hard time.
That's right.
I think the only reason I can do it by feel is because I've done it for so long. 49 years. and I'm only 54. But
And we're grateful that you could hang out with us too, Darla.
Yes.
But the fact that I've been doing it this long, I'm still learning things every single day. So don't think the fact that you've been crocheting for 50 years doesn't mean that you won't be learning stuff every day.
That's right.
Because I'm still learning every day.
Well, look at the magic knot thing last week.
I know.
I've never tried that way before.
I love it.
Right?
I loves it.
You know, I learned from the people that have only been crocheting for less than a year. And I love it.
Yep.
I think that's fantastic. So don't judge yourself harshly at all. Your work is just as spectacular as everyone else's.
Absolutely.
I love to see everyone's work. I'm always impressed. It's always amazing.
Yep.
You know, I'm impressed by the littlest things. I'm impressed that, you know, Joseph does soap. I'm like, where is his email? I need to ask him. Do you put coconut stuff in your soap? Because I'm allergic to coconut. But I sure would like to borrow your soap. I'm just saying.
That's exactly right, Darla. Learning is what helps us live our lives.
It is.
That's
The motto of my entire being is if I'm not learning something new, I'm stagnating.
That's right.
That's
Absolutely,
right.
Coco.
Exactly, Nancy. You learn every day. And it's a wonderful thing.
Yep.
Any recipe to add or leave out, whatever is needed.
Well, the one that had the aloe and the cucumber, no coconut or coconut oil because I'm allergic to coconut in every shape or way or form. I will so pay you for it. Didn't know you were still here.
See, if I wasn't in the UK, I would be all over that because I cannot buy shop bought soap because my skin goes crazy. My skin hates it. I can only have that.
I'm so fangirling over here.
You'll be in the US in July, Dan.
There you
I
go.
am coming to the US in July.
Well, he can send it to me and I can send it to you because I have a box going to you.
I'm kind of broke right now, but
I'm fangirling over Joseph. You know that. I fangirl over you. You got a great, beautiful beard.
I know, isn't it pretty? Coco, are we going to see you a little later this evening?
Yes, I will be live at 6
There's
p.m.
better, Suzanne. I
an
didn't know
hour
you
ish
knew
from
that.
now.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool.
So anyone that's looking for something to do at 6, come on back here.
You're
and I'll be
welcome.
here.
I am fangirling over you guys.
And if you're working on mosaics, you know that Michelle Mosaic, I believe, because I haven't seen anything, and she was in here a little earlier. She may have already popped out, but
Michelle, are you going live? Yeah, I'm putting that in the universe. Just waiting to see. I'm going to check.
Okay, good.
I'm
Because
going to check
she
now.
does go on right after us. Me at 5. There you go. All right, folks.
Well, where are
Thank
you?
you all so much for being here. You know, we love it every Sunday whenever you come to pop in, no matter whose house we're at.
Yes.
We greatly appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Those of you that come in after the raid that you send us, Granny D, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next week we'll be at Daniel's house.
Is it my house? Is it my house next week?
Yes,
I
we'll
just
be at
stole it.
Daniel's house next week.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I lose track of the weeks, guys, so I ain't got a clue until end of the show.
Sometimes he doesn't even know what day it is. So yeah, but we will be at Daniel's house next week. So y'all be sure. And I mean, I know it's going to be Mother's Day weekend, but if you just need some place, to hang out, yes, and be a little quiet, after all the festivities and stuff, be sure to catch us again at 4:00 Eastern next week at Daniel's.
And if you can't be there, there's always the replay.
Oh, that's right. Please never forget the replay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll see y'all in an hour or next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please remember, folks, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your light they need to see. Thank you again so much for being here,
love you
folks.
guys.
Love you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.